Hello once again. In my last video I mentioned I was going to get some signals, and well, as you can see, I have some LED signals. I got these off of Amazon. They were $15.99 for 5, so very cheap. So I thought, well, I'll buy some and see what they're like. And as you can see, they're not bad at all. My only real criticism of these signals is they're very fragile. You know, you do have to watch what you're doing. They could be very easily broken. And they're very bright. If you look at this lower green one here, you know, they really are quite bright. So what I've done with these two here is I've just painted some black paint over the LED, and that diffuses the light. Still to do that with this one, but that makes a big difference, because otherwise it was just illuminating the room almost. They really are very bright. So these wire up pretty much like a point would, really. Just it's a red wire for the red light, a green wire for the green light, and the black for the circuit. And then you connect them up to one of the Hornby on-on lever switches. That's the yellow one. The green ones are the on-off, and the black ones are the passing contact switches for points. So I didn't really want to have signals working completely independently, so I had to manually switch them on and off. I kind of wanted them to work with the points and have them set in a way that kind of makes a certain amount of sense within the layout. So, for example, this signal here relates to this siding, and it's currently set to red because that point is closed. If I open the point, it switches to green, and this light here switches to red. So it's making a certain amount of sense. A train coming down here is going to see a red light and stop, and the trains in here have got a green light to go. So in order to get the two lights working together, you've basically just got to wire them together with reverse polarities. So when one's on green, the other's on red. So they just connect to the same switch. To get them to work with the point, this is where the DCC guys just burst out laughing. I've actually lashed the levers together. Well, I say lashed, it's actually a little bit cable connector and a couple of roll plugs. Let's see if I can just pull it out. Here we go. Just a couple of roll plugs inside a cable connector. But works fine. I'm sure there used to be a commercial thing you could get for doing this, but couldn't see it anymore. So that just means that works the two levers as one. And this lever here works this point here in relation to that light. So if I change the point, the light changes. I did say in my last video this was the point I was going to change, which I've now done, so that's been swapped out. So I only have 2 surface mounted points left. I was going to swap the motors out on these ones as well, but it's a big job, and I mean these are working, so I'm just going to leave them just now, but at some point I will lift these points out and replace the motors. So there we go, we've got signals. I'd say I'm not making any attempt to do realistic signalling in this layout. It wouldn't really be possible. But so long as they make a certain amount of sense to me when I'm operating the layout, that's what's important. And the ideology I'm following is that signals will always be to the left of the relative track. So trains in the outer loop, generally speaking, go in this direction, so the signals will all be facing this way and the opposite on the other line. I'll probably put some signals over here as well, now that I know that these actually work. So we'll put some more in. And these 2 points are coming out next. That's the next job, which is in readiness for extending my station out, which is going to involve a trip to B&Q's and stuff. But there we go, that's what I've been doing. Oh, a few more trees. Been busy doing them as well. A few more in there. So I'll leave a link in the description below to the Amazon site for these signals, because I think for $15.99, yeah, they're well worth it, because all the other options I could see for signalling were pretty expensive. Right, okay, I do have another locomotive coming this week, hopefully, so I'll see you then. Cheers now.